Hey guys, Nolar here, back with JP Dokkan, and today I'm going to be doing a top 10 rankings of all the 50% support units, you know, the monotypes that we got. I don't know how long ago was that, Truth?
Well, let's see. We first started getting them in October, I want to say, like right around when Cooler dropped, and then of course we're moving into God Goku.
Right.
Gohan and Vegeta for the first
Yeah, it was
two?
the int guys, yeah, okay. And, oh, by the way, I'm joined by Truth here, so this is part 1 of the video. It's going to go from number 10 to 6, and then Truth will do the top 5, but we both had a consensus of, yeah, this is how we would rank them, both as a card and how they fit on their teams. So, we'll start off with number 10, and it's Super AGL, the GT Pan. So yeah, she's number 10 for various reasons. It's mostly because her secondary skills, like their super attack. So for people who don't know, they went from 3 key leader skill, and now they're a 4 key leader skill with 122 all the stats. And so they have a super attack, which is always supreme damage, and then they have a secondary condition, and that changes with every unit. So that's what differentiates them, and that's how we kind of went with the top 10. Their passive skill is always their type, key +3, attack and defense 50%, and then they randomly change a key sphere that's not their type to their type, and then they gain attack and defense 20% per key sphere. So I wish they allowed us to like redo some of my rainbows, because the pure attack and additional and dodges is not going to apply to some of these guys, but I'll just have to eat stones for that. But anyways, yeah, so that's the general idea.
Stones isn't the worst part. It's having to redo the orbs. I don't care about the stones. Right?
Yeah.
But the orbs is where it's like, man.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So anyways, Pan's number 10 because she just does supreme damage and then raises her allies' attack by 25% for 2 turns, which is a very good, secondary passive, but that's kind of all she's got, right?
Yeah, it's good for showcases, but like when we're talking like practicality, like running through these difficult events, like that's not going to help you. Whereas you look at something like, I don't know, Kid Gohan, right? Raises his defense by 30% for 9 turns. Like even in Super Battle Road, 1 super attack helps tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like Pan's like attack buff is very, very small. Like maybe if we're talking for AGL Super Vegeta and his 50 attacks he could do, sure. But like the rest of the units, I feel like it's not really that big of a deal to get from her. And like the only way to really, these units are different again from what they do with their super attacks, their links, and then the category teams, and then the type of units that are getting the buffs, right? Like Aja LR Gohan is on Hybrid Saiyans, for example, works good with Pan. But one other thing I want to toss in before we start recording, I forgot to mention this. If you look at all of these units, right, their leader skills for like Battlefield or something like that are pretty decent, right? Like going through all of them, I think I run all of them as either my lead or my sub lead.
Yep.
Except for Pan, because AGL has Super Saiyan 4 Goku and LR Gohan. So her leader skill is unneeded unless you don't have one of those two. Whereas you can't really say the same about any of the other 9. So that hurts her as well.
Yeah, that puts a little damper on her. I mean, she's a great support. I mean, they all are, right? 50% attack and defense and 3 key. I mean, that's hard to come by. But, as we look here, I mean, I'm pulling up all the Super AGL units. Like, there's so many that because she doesn't really have that great of effect for those super long events, it's kind of like hard to justify bringing her unless you really need that support or you don't have that many units in your box, right? So, yeah. I mean, and like her links, like, okay, let's look at her links real quick. All in the Family, Same Lineage, Battlefield Diva, GT, Innocence, Shocking Speed, Shattering Limit. I mean, I think the only 2 links that really matter here is Shocking Speed, because AGL's got lots of Shocking Speed, and Shattering the Limit, which some units, depending on the team build, she's useful for that. But everything else, like she's part of Goku's family. Like, a lot of them have the Innocence, Battlefield Diva. I mean, she's the only female one, so yeah, her links leaves a lot to be desired on the other teams, on the category. So that's why we ranked her at number 10. So, okay, now number 9 is the Scouter Vegeta, one of the first ones to get an awakening. So he infinitely raises attack. So he stacks every turn on super attack, and he has a medium chance to stun the enemy. But that's kind of it, right? So
yeah, because the thing with him, right, is that there's not a lot of extreme in good units on the teams that he's on. So like it's like he could help a little bit with the stunning, but I feel as though because there's not like a lot of extreme in very strong units you're running him with, you're not really gonna run this guy, right? Like that's kind of like because pure Saiyans, like if they give us a full LR full power Broly, from the Broly movie soon, that's int. Yeah, that makes this Vegeta a lot better. But like just these teams, you're not gonna find a spot for this guy. I mean, the one area where we're gonna see is gonna be Diabolical Villain because you do have LR Rose on there as well. But then again, AGL Rose's EZA is gonna be like one of the best options to bring on that team too. So like if you're not gonna bring LR Rose, then this guy's gonna not be as good as a result. Like he just doesn't have a good spot, a good fit right now. Really, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't really have a good spot, but to be fair to him, he's got big bad bosses, which is an amazing link either way how you build a team. So raising attack infinitely is fine if you're going to put him on rotation, but then, like you said, without a good partner to pair him with, really not a good reason to put him on rotation. And yeah, it's kind of meh to me in general. So yeah, he's got room to grow. It's just unfortunately right now he just doesn't have a solid spot in all of this right now. So,
yep.
All right. Any last words for him, or shall we move on?
The 50% supports are capable of doing very good damage, especially like again Kabe and Kid Gohan when you get to the upper limits of them raising their attack for 9 turns the way they do. But like stacking attack, I've never really found that to be that big of a deal on almost any unit, right? Like it's nice, top tier units like Kefla, Beerus, Cooler do it. But even for them, like it's like, yeah, it raises their damage a bit, but I just feel like it doesn't have nearly the effect that stacking defense does over the course of defense.
Yeah, it doesn't have enough impact. I agree with you on that one. Yeah. Yep. So, all right, so that was number 9 and number 8. So we've got Tech second form Cell. We actually had a little discussion. We're like, he's just him as a card is okay, but he's just so valuable to Extreme Tech because he greatly lowers attack and defense. And if anyone's ever done Extreme Super Battle Road, that's a godsend for Extreme Tech because he definitely helps you like last long enough, get enough damage in, tank enough to just get through the event. So I don't know. I thought he should be a little bit higher, but the other units do offer a little more value to them, so we kept him at number 8.
The one thing that really holds both Tien and Cell back for me is so the 2 effects. Like most of these units, they've got 2 effects on their like super attack basically, except for Brildo who's got 3. Now great lowering attack is amazing. Like you definitely want that in Extreme Super Battle, and it helps out so much. But greatly lowering defense is completely worthless. The only single place in the game I found lowering defense to be of any worth a damn at all is against Int UI Goku in the Legendary Goku event. But number 1, Cell is Tech, and so is Tien. So like, you don't really want to run them in there anyway. And then number 2, it's only useful lowering his defense if you're running a bunch of counter units, right? Like the Vegetos, who are not going to be run alongside this Cell. So.
Right. Yeah, lowering defense, we said this, if they then said it was instead lowering defense, it's stacked defense for him, then he would be like number 3, number 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like he'd be way up there.
They would shoot way up if they stacked defense and great lowered attack. That would be insane.
Yeah. I guess the other event that you can run greatly lowering defense is the physical Broly Dokkan event, if you guys remember that.
Or I think the OG Blue Cow King Goku has really high defense too. I don't know about the new one. I mean, because the new one just goes down so easily.
Well, Dokkan Fest nowadays aren't too difficult, but back in the day when physical Broly came out, it was tough, man. Like you needed those blazing battle units, or you needed to lower the hell out of his defense to do any damage. Which
I remember one strategy people like to do. There was a Goldo that when he gets hit lowers the enemy's defense to 0. So yeah, he'd use Goldo, right?
Yeah, but yeah. So just looking at Extreme Tech, I mean, the reason why he's so valuable is because he really offers a lot to LR Broly. You've got the Rose and and Zamasu, like they really bring the team together. But it just if he raised defense or did something else besides lower defense on that super attack, like he would be way more valuable than he is now. So.
I mean, Cell, you look at his link set. His link set is very good. He does have some of this shit like Messenger from the Future and Attack on the Clone isn't that good. But he does have Nightmare. He does have Big Bad Bosses. He does have Brutal Beatdown.
Brutal Beatdown, yeah.
And then Time Travelers specifically. I mean, you look at the units he could work with over there. Demon King Piccolo is very underrated. You have Exchange Boo over there. You have, of course, the ETA Cell. Like, then, of course, on things like Target Goku, Transformation Boost, you got Tech Broly. So there is a lot of use for this cell on these teams. Like, you're going to be able to put him next to really good units. But it's just that great lowering defense, I think, holds him back a little bit.
Yep, I agree. Alrighty, so that was number 8. Number 7 we have here is the just recently awakened super physical Gohan, the Teen Gohan in the Kai's outfit.
Yep.
And the reason why... Okay, so let me just explain. Super attacks, he raises attack infinitely and causes extreme damage with a medium chance of stunning the enemy. So pretty much the same passive as Vegeta, but the reason why he's higher up there is because he's super physical. And I'll let Truth take away and explain how that's so good.
Well, okay, one thing is that I think both super physical and extreme physical, they feel like the two weakest of like the super and extreme classes to me. So like these were really badly needed.
Yep.
And I think super physical and extreme physical also have very weak leaders too. Because like the LR androids are an amazing leader, but you have to run them with androids for them to be good. So like that's kind of weird because like LR Cell is good, but like he's aged and like he's not that good. So like running him in difficult events, Super Battle Road, you could definitely get away with it. He's very helpful with the healing and the AoE, but it's a little bit rough sometimes. So both Gohan and Buu, the leader skill is really valuable. Stunning, of course, amazing for Super Battle Road. But the thing about Gohan, his links aren't really the best, I would say. That hurts him a bit.
Yep.
But like Beerus and Gohan together are so crazy. And you could do it on a couple of different teams because Future Gohan combines Hybrid Saiyan and Bond of Master and Disciple. So you could do Gohan, Beerus, Whis, Vados over there. Or you could do Gohan, Beerus, Whis, Vados on Siblings Bond. And like, if you guys have used or seen Beerus along with the Angels, it's insanity. Like, the way, like, with how defensive the Angels are and how much they increase Beerus's power, it's just so ridiculous. So like, Gohan adding to that, it just it's so nuts, really. Like, so I like Gohan quite a bit with that Beerus because Beerus is very good.
Oh yeah, I mean, I did a video. I think I was doing a race with someone, and I had Vados and Whis on the same rotation with Beerus. He managed to get hit before. I'm against UI Goku. I used a Bulma item, and this is a free dupe, just friend, no dupes. He had a 12 million attack stat. And he basically, so like the guy can put out numbers. Again, you got to give him the right conditions to get there. But if you like big numbers, Beerus is your guy, man. Like he can get up there. So, I personally haven't ran this guy with Beerus, but I've done a showcase with him, and he's great. He's really good. And then Super Battle Road, that chance. I mean, it's medium chance is what 30%, 30%. It's not bad, Yeah,
this Gohan does have a 30%. Yeah, that's fine. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good enough, his links aren't great because he's the Kai outfit Gohan, so he's got to have Power Bestowed by God, which is really mostly Potara links for the most part. But yeah, I mean, overall, he's damn good. So we put him right there at number 7, and that's a pretty good spot for him. So we'll move on to our last one for this video. We're going on to Tien. Tech Tien. So Super Tech, he greatly lowers attack and defense, which is awesome. But like we both said with Cell, if he just lowered attack and then stacked defense by himself, he would probably be number 1. So but yeah, everyone knows Tech Tien because of his great buddy of LR Goku and Frieza. Awesome linking, lowers attack, which then boosts the second and third passes of LR Goku and Frieza, which outputs huge numbers. So that's what everyone knows as Tech TN. But outside of that, he's still really good. You know, he's still a good card unto himself.
Yep.
Like Earthlings, you know, you and I were both talking about it. Like besides LR Krillin, I think he's literally the best card after him. Like as a card himself, not just a support unit. So
I guess you probably would have to say Krillin is better, but like again, yeah, this Tien is right up there, and like Tien is gonna buff Oob on that team. I guess the thing about Tien is on several teams, you know, Worthy Rivals, Android Cell Saga, and Earthling that are like what I would consider like lower level category teams, and like Tien, his presence on there just really helps those teams a lot.
Yep.
So like he's very important in that aspect, and then. You know, you look at something like LR Goku and Frieza, who Tien is buffing, and like, you know, that's why like I'm sure a lot of people out there probably would put Tien at 1, actually, like of all 10, just because of what he does to LR Goku and Frieza, which I can see. But keep in mind that Tien is not actually even sharing a category with them, right? Like you're just putting him on Representatives Universe 7 at a lower leader skill just because of what he does to Goku and Frieza. So like that's another thing to consider about that too.
Well, the reason why we put him at 6 is that, you know, he's in Last Resort, right? And there's a few good tech units in Last Resort. So
yeah, there's you know there's one in particular who's pretty good. Yeah. The other thing I should mention is that his links, like for these teams he's on, are actually quite good. Like you know, you look at him on Worthy Rival, for example. Like next to Piccolo, like I think he shares Z Fighters, Rival Duo, and Experienced Fighters with Dokkan vs Piccolo. Is that true? Let me just make sure that Piccolo does have Rival Duo. He doesn't. Okay, so Dokkan Fest Piccolo doesn't have Rival Duo, but I'm pretty sure he's got Experienced Fighters. He does. So like Z Fighters and Experienced Fighters, like those are big attack links. So that's gonna help Dokkan Fest Piccolo a lot. And then Tien, of course, has got Over and a Flash, which is gonna really help him with all those, like really big super tech units, right? LR Vegeta Blue, who we referenced, and then of course Goku. And then even LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku.
Yeah, I was going to say that he helps too there. So, yeah, so he's number 6. I know that might shock you guys because, like Truth said, a bunch of you probably put him at number 1 because of what he does to LR Goku and Frieza, which we both say, yeah, we see it. But when you look at all the other Awakened cards, there's a lot. Those other cards probably provide more utility for their teams, and just themselves are a better card than Tien is. So, and we'll discuss that in part 2 in the description below for Truth. Anything from 10 to 6 here? You want to say last word?
Again, well, Tien is very good. Like this, even Pan at 10 is still an amazing unit, right? Like all these units are ridiculously good. It's just, of course, we're ranking them, right? It's like you do like an LR like ranking, right? Like I don't know, you have like LR God Goku at like number 10 out of 10 or something like that, and people are like, what? No, I use him, he's so good. It's like, yeah, but he's just not as good as units in front of him, I don't think.
Right,
like that's a big thing to understand with it, right?
Yeah, you gotta think of it, it's all relative, right? You know, we say Pan's number 10, but compared to all the other cards, she's up there, she's very good, but we're comparing strictly the supports, their utility, their awakenings, and how they decided to kind of differentiate them all, because before, they were just 3 key, 50%, and had maybe some effects on their super attacks, and that's kind of it. But now they definitely stretched it out and, you know, put a pecking order, which is what we're here for. So, anyways, guys, appreciate you all being here. We'll catch you all in part 2 and Truth's channel, and here it is, No Lar and Truth out.